Welcome everyone to welcome everyone to our Harmony Power broadcast. I have a very special guest, not only special guest to me, but to many who've known this man. Uh, I knew him as Chief Master Sergeant Chambers. His name is Les Chambers. He's retired, and you know there are no words to describe this person. How he used his power to help so many. But I want to begin with, just kind of rewind the tape and just let people know that this man helped me. He respected me and honored me as a young soldier in the United States Air Force at Pease Air Force Base. I was an entertainer. He was in full support and pushing that. And I ended up traveling the country. And I was a building manager at the end of my career, and he supported that as well. I was in charge of 120 soldiers, and I was 23 years old. So there was a lot that I attained, but I didn't do it by myself. Nothing we do is by ourselves. It's with those influences we have around us that motivate, inspire, and often make decisions that impact our careers. So, you know, that's what I know of the Chief Master Sergeant Chambers. And I wasn't the only one. There were many that were impacted by his presence because he believed in equality on all levels and fair treatment. There was even a situation where I had a bully that I worked with that was, very hurtful. And I said it, I mentioned it to him. I had proof of the bullying. And the next week I came to work, that person wasn't there anymore. And that was because of you. And I want to thank you for all of that. And you're part of the reason why I'm where I'm at today is because of you. So that's why I said, you know what? I've already, addressed the amazing ways that you've empowered people in the Air Force, but I wanted to hear about you retired. And it's like, you're retired, but you go into this other thing of like, let me help this community. It's like you don't stop. And I want to honor that. We'll award you when after you tell us, what you're doing. Please.
John, first of all, thank you very much. Appreciate that. But, I came from a humble beginning. There wasn't any silver spoons where I came from. So my family, uh, actually, we didn't really realize how poor we were until after I came into the military. And, helping one another, being there for one another was very, very instrumental in us being able to do the things that we needed to do as a family. But my mindset has always been that everybody's got self worth. I don't ever want to minimize anybody's ability to be all that they can be. So everybody's got self worth, and it shouldn't matter about your status. It's about doing what's right, and that's what I've always tried to do. Now, even during the time when you were at Pease Air Force Base, you were a hard worker, and your work ethic has always been impeccable. But
Thank
I, as a leader, my job is to take care of the troops and make sure that they have a good environment to work in. And when somebody's being a bully, somebody's being just wrong in their actions, then that needs to be corrected, regardless who the person is. And, I feel that way. But, when we have people like you, when you were there at Pease Air Force Base, making things happen there at where the rubber meets the road, doing the work, any other thing that's just this craziness, you didn't need that. The job in itself was demanding. So, we need to work as a team, be together, and anybody that doesn't want to be a team player, they need to go. That's my feeling about things, the way I feel today.
Well, I tell you the impact I know you've had on my life, the countless others that are not here to speak, but I'm speaking for all those people that knew you and crossed that road with you, and you impacted them as well. And now you're retired, and you've got this other thing you're doing with charity. Like, what's going on there?
Well, everything that we're doing in that, John, is taking care of children and families. And there are a lot of families who have worked hard, have fallen on some hard times, just a series of unforeseen things happening in their life that really put them in a devastating situation. Now, they didn't reach that point because they were lazy. It was just some, unfortunate circumstances. Now, my job is to sometimes, as a volunteer, to reach out to those people, see what they need, where the needs are, and then work with other organizations in the community who are trying to do things in people's life to make their life better. And to me, I don't care who gets the credit. We
It's
just get the
extraordinary.
job done. As long as we get the job done, and those people who are reaching out, they're not lazy, and don't want to work. It's just just a series of things that's happened in their life, unforeseen, unplanned, unprojected things that really kind of put them behind the curve. So
Your empathy comes from that hardship. You've had to your adversity really was overcoming your own hardship as a child, growing up and joining the Air Force and making that this huge thing it became. I mean, you were playing. I remember you were playing golf with. I think it was one of the Bushes. You were playing golf with these people who'd come in to the base. So it was like, who's this guy playing golf with? And it was an extraordinary time for people to come into that base. But you were just so humble about it. It was not. It was never fully yourself. You're always about people. And the fact that you retire, you could just be sitting around, doing much of nothing. But some people do, just travel, whatever. It's not wrong, but the fact that you continue to serve humanity, you're like, you know what? I need to be in service. And I'm being in service as long as I could think, talk, and move, and help people in need. That just blows me away. I mean, that's really like an example of what I feel people should be doing. Like it's like someone once said, serve or suffer. We're
yeah.
always service. We're always going to be happy people because
Well,
we're born here in this reality to do that.
John, I kind of view myself as a servant leader. I really do. And the thing about it is this: uh, I didn't get where I am today by myself. There were
So
people from all walks of life helped me get there.
yeah,
People who didn't look like me, people who looked like me, but there were people from all walks of life saw some of the things that I was doing, saw something in me that they thought was worthy, and
yes.
helped me do the things that I'm doing today. Uh, the thing that would really bother me more than anything is when people who are in a position of authority, a position of trust, and they fail to do the things that they have the capability of doing. And I say it sometimes because people sometimes just don't care.
Yeah.
The troops who see these kind of leaders, they know they don't care. They might not realize it, but the troops know they don't care. And so I just don't ever want to be guilty of being that individual who could do and don't do
Well,
because,
in an era of
yeah.
in an era of dysfunctional leadership, and leadership that in today, not all leaders, but some of them uh, divide the world. They divide it just by race, color, creed, sexual orientation, just by
Mhm.
labels. They're dividing the world, and then they separate us with these labels.
Mhm.
And when people like you were always unifying,
Mhm.
and you were getting rid of anything toxic. Those toxic environments got to go. Clean it up. Put your energy into those that you believed in and those that deserved it. And that's why I have to honor you. I said, you spend your life honoring other people and never, never really wanting or needing credit. I said no. And I said I need to do this. So I have this right here, and I'm going to email it to you. And it's right here.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, John. But there's people like you. When you are out there, I mean, the things that you were able to do, your ability as an entertainer, just as a martial artist, as a dancer. I mean, the things that you were able to do, those were things were morale builders. Morale. Not all of us could do that, but you could. and it kind of set you apart from some of the other folks that we had there on the base. You know, we had a lot of folks on the base who were workers, good workers, and everything, but you were always giving back. You know, and as a young man in the military doing that, that's a kind of maturity that we don't have today. You know, it's I me world with some places. You know, you go, but you never had that attitude.
It was a great blessing to have been honored by you and others that were there at that time too. And I remember like it was yesterday, everybody coming to my shows and then traveling the whole country was a dream. But this is about you, and this is about it's such an endearing thing to like be able to honor someone who's honored me. Is such a incredible thing for me. So I'm going to read this to you.
Okay.
Harmony Power Certificate of Award. Lee Chambers has been awarded this certificate for dedication, commitment, and outstanding efforts in promoting harmony in the world. So here it is. This is what it looks like. And
Okay. Thank you.
it'll be in your inbox very shortly.
God, I sure appreciate that. I tell you what, I'm hoping that one day we won't be chatting with one another virtually, that we'll be in person. And we're going to, my wife and I are going to do a little bit more traveling after this pandemic is under control. And hopefully we'll get to see you up in the northeastern part of the United States.
That would be another dream to occur.
Yeah.
So I'm so like grateful that we get to spend this time and be able to award you. It's like an award that's overdue. And congratulations to you, and definitely get it, celebrate it with the family. You know, these broadcasts are for people that I find to be very special. They may be special in my life, they may not be. You know, it depends on, I may not know them, but they're definitely very unique and amazing people like you. And so you're an example of what people in the world should be doing. And you're also an example of the good, positive leadership, right? So we talk about the negative leadership, and the media is very good at just perpetuating all these dark pieces, which are true, a lot of it. But the other side of, there's a lot of amazing leaders like you who have made a difference, who continue to make a difference. So I want to say God bless you and your family, and thank you so much for being on this broadcast and accepting the award.
Hey, John, thank you so much. I'm honored, and